Hello there, friends. I have been gone for a really long time and I have thought about you a lot. I just, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know how to juggle things, because when I want to do something, I want to do it all the way or perfectly or bigger than I have time for. And so I decided that I'm just going to start with I want to start with something very simple, so that way I can actually get something out to you. This is fun. It's YouTube, and I'm happy to see you. I just wanted to share with you kind of a little bit of what I'm using right now, my favorite things. Try to keep it brief. I'm gonna just mainly cover kind of like journaling, stationery type items. This is not really a product. I want to share with you what I'm doing that I love. I think it's more the doing than the actual things, if that makes sense. And so I've had a bit of a change in the last few months. I'm still changing, always changing what I'm using, but some things are working so well, and those are the things mostly that I'm sharing with you today. I had this is in no particular order. I just had this out on my desk because I was just using it, but it's my Sterling Ink Common Planner. The first run, I know that they're growing so fast and it's wonderful. This is the B6 size, full year. This is my work planner and it's just wonderful. I do love it. It's everything that I need it to be. I probably don't need so many pages, but I'm not gonna complain about that. That's great. If I wanted to use a page a day, I could. I don't need that much room, but I can't really, I don't know if I can share with you much in here because it is not private, but it's work related, and so I'll just do a real quick flip. But I pretty much just keep to my weeklies. I use a lot the weeklies to write down tasks, and I use my monthlies to kind of give myself an overview of things that are happening and when I want them to happen. I use the back for collections type pages where I just hold on to information, and then I kind of sectioned off the back end to just be notes pages. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's in a Galen leather zipper cover that I love. And I still love, if you've been around a while, I think most people know me because of the Hobonichi Weeks. I feel like those are my most popular videos. Mainly I think just because I decorate them all the time. I use them, it's a functional planner, but it's also kind of a memory keeper and kind of just fun for me. I love the size of it, and I love the layout and the paper and the color of the paper. I just love everything about it. I was using it as a work planner a couple years ago, but it just was not enough room for me to keep everything in here. So I moved to the larger planner and then used this for kind of a everything planner. It's almost like a fancy to-do list, because work things do go in here once they're planned out. In that one, I just write down what I need to do, an abbreviated version of what I need to do. I write down things that are going on in my family, just various things that we need, that we have going on, and shopping lists, and sometimes menu, or what we're eating. Sometimes I attempt to track things, even though I'm the worst tracker ever. See, look, I'm trying. I can't ever keep up with tracking things. I very, very often forget about my planner for 2 or 3 days, maybe sometimes even longer. I just am not the type of person to come back to the same thing every day. even though I want to, it just doesn't happen that way for me. And I am probably not going to change in that area because I'm 42 years old and I just don't see it happening. I've tried to change. Tracking is just not something that I'm good at. However, sometimes I can handle it if it's important. These were medicines my kids were taking, and I think I had to keep it out on the counter to remember to do that. So yeah, this is the Hobonichi Weeks. It's basically what I've been doing in it for maybe 3 years now. And 2021 was my first year, I think, yeah. And so, you know, some weeks I don't really get to it. That's okay. I do enjoy it a lot. And I also like to try out a lot of these things in here are my my favorite stationery items I use in here. I think because it's small, I see these are not the best pages, but sometimes I use special stickers that I know, like if I get some special stickers that I love, I'll put it in here because I know that I'll see it again. Whereas some of my journals or planners, I don't like look back at them often, so I'm afraid I'll lose it. So this one feels a little bit more precious, like the precious things can go in here. I also use a lot of my own artwork for Patreon. I make printables. I have a Patreon and I offer some printable pages of my art. So I like these little washi strips are from there, and that one, not that flower. Those guys, and then I just made these flowers and that washi, like this is all my artwork. So that kind of thing, I like to sort of showcase my own work in here when it's available, when I can do that. So that's my weeks. It's tried and true. I do love it. This guy is one of my favorites, but for some reason I've kind of neglected this guy for several months, unfortunately, but I'm getting back to it. It's just my blue traveler's notebook and I kind of altered it a little bit, and I just do regular like creative journaling in here. I keep up with, you know, some memories. This is drawings by my son Felix. He just finished kindergarten and yeah, so I just keep things like that in here. I was neglecting this because I was doing I can show you real quick, but I was doing more of the weekly journaling. But before I get to that, I'll show you what's in here in the back. This is kind of like a commonplace notebook, but it's also just like an everything. I don't know, I just keep other stuff back here. There's no rhyme or reason. This was a weekly journaling layout, but I changed it to just be sort of a whatever goes. This is a beautiful notebook by Baum Kuhen called the GU Planner. It's got the days of the week, weekdays, and then Saturday and Sunday, and kind of a space up here. It's really lovely. I do like it a lot, but I don't know. I'm just always changing things up, and I have also not been in this one for a while, but plenty of pages left. So I plan on spending more time in here in the near future. The reason I've not been working on that one so much is because I was concentrating on the weeklies. So I was doing the regular like Traveler Notebook, Traveler's Company, Vertical Weekly. And as much as I like the finished product, like the finished pages. I hardly ever finished a week. I don't know what it is. This just doesn't seem to work for me or my brain very well. And I found it to be something that I rarely did because I wanted to, but more because I just needed to put something in here so I wouldn't get behind. So like I, stuck my artwork in there, and I would stick random stickers. I mean, sometimes they were relevant to the week. Sometimes they were relevant. Sometimes they were, that's timely, something that was happening. But if it was a normal week where I just did normal stuff, my kids did normal things, and we just, I don't know. And even sometimes when it was a special week, it's like I had a hard time logging it the right way, and so much pressure doing it all in this tiny vertical space, or like, how do you lay it out? I don't know why. I find it so not difficult, but it just wasn't easy and fun, and I wasn't delighting in it. And when I journal, I want it to be a delight. I want it to be so fun, because this is what I do in my free time. This is what I do for fun. And so if it feels like a chore, then it's not really what I should be doing, right? So I figured that I might as well just go ahead and let this go. So I did I stopped doing it because, like I said, even though I like the way it looks, I think it's cute. I love it when I see other people doing this. That's why I wanted to do it again. I gave this a try a couple years ago, and then I tried it again this year. And I think this time it's finally like, okay, I really did try. I really did try, and it's just not for me. So I think that's okay. I will still love looking back at this, even though it's unfinished, and I will be documenting my days, elsewhere. Also, the thing is because I put so much in the weeks, and when we have activities and stuff, and when we do certain things, I can make notes in here. And there are all these pages in the back that I don't use very well. So I'm thinking that I'll just maybe get better at making notes in the back if I need extra room to write about an event or a vacation or something. And then when I want to do longer journaling, or more like, I don't know, bigger journaling, I guess I can put it in here. So this is not really necessary. Okay, so this is my research journal. It's something that I started this year. I have been sick. I'm getting over like the flu, so bear with me and my poor voice. I covered it in this paper that my daughter painted and cut it out to fit under here and put some letter stickers on it. I think it's really cute. But this is the Our Studio Research Project Weekly Journal that you may have seen. It's very popular. So what I use this for is what I think of as my research. It is called Research Journal. What gave me the idea is that when I heard about the back pages, and I think last year when they came out with this, I didn't really think about this. It didn't really attract me. But then I heard again, like I was listening to people talk about it, and I saw the back pages, and I just had immediate like visions for what those back pages could be. So yeah, I've been using them for color swatches and like testing out art materials and making notes. And this is the kind of thing that just like delights me. And then, okay, so the other issue was I have a tendency to use a lot of notes. Like for instance, here on my desk here are like 3 Post-it notes. And I do this a lot when I'm just needing to jot something down real quick. I just jot it down on a little note paper or Post-it note, and then stick it somewhere else when I can. So the idea was I was collecting all kinds of papers, and I had I still have the stacks of notes. I wanted to collect those notes because a lot of them have to do with my work. So they're like either art related, business related, design related. They're whatever I'm listening to or watching or reading often has to do with my work. And so in a way, this is like a commonplace notebook for specifically for my work, which is basically like being an artist. So this is kind of like a bunch of little note papers, which would be like shorter form things. Videos from other creators, whether it's like on YouTube or Patreon, or things that I see on Instagram, or maybe a podcast. But most recently I was taking a very long course, a serious course on surface design, and that stuff didn't get in here because it was too much. It would not fit in these little boxes. It has its own notebook, and so I kind of got off track a little bit. I'm getting back into this now, so I'll just do a real quick flip through. It does have months, and I just use those to map out projects I'm working on. I have a little key here that I sort of use sometimes. And then, yeah, so I just keep track of things. It could be anything from like colors of colored pencils that people have recommended, quotes. I love quotes. Little notes on some classes, like Skillshare classes. Podcast stuff. Yeah, anything that I might write down on a little scrap of paper. So basically, I love this. I love it so much. It's probably my favorite thing right now. I am a person who lives basically in my head, like as much as possible. It's hard for me to get out of my head. It's good for me to get out of my head, but I just think all the time, and I make notes on things that I'm thinking, because especially since I've had children, I don't remember things as well as I would like, and so I'm just always taking notes. And this format really works for me. I like being able to tell when I was thinking about something. It doesn't have to be the exact day, but I love seeing how like things connect to one another, and how, you know, something that I took notes on, you know, here kind of comes up again here. And I mean, it just, I like it. And I also like the format for decorating. It is part of the joy, being able to, I don't know, just like make it pretty and still have my notes in here, but make it pretty. Yeah, I do use some of my own artwork in here, and then I also use other people's and things printed out from the internet or whatever, anything that relates to what I'm thinking about, or just makes it pretty, basically. So that's my research journal, which is my favorite right now. Related to that is just something else that I love. I just am loving making note cards and like little cards like this, and writing my notes down, or making little palettes. And I'm finding so much joy in this. This is like, I don't know, it's making my days so happy. I can't get enough of it. So let me just show you this. Like, if you're interested in Patreon, this is like an example of, this is the last thing I posted as of filming this. Who knows when you'll see it, but this is the last thing I posted. This is one of the printables. I usually do at least 2 a month, and it's only $5 a month, but I don't keep them up forever because they do eventually get moved to my Etsy. That way I can just keep things moving. Anyways, if you're interested, you can check that out. It's Erin Ware, like patreon.com/Erin Ware. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like I just like did a whole whirlwind of talking. I hope you're well. I guess if you've made it this far, give me a little heart emoji or something in the comments. And I love you. I hope to be back soon. I hope you're well. Goodbye.